What's up, guys? It's you, and welcome to Push to Rank 500 in the RU tier, where we will be trying to hit rank 500 in the RU tier, and so, as I said, for the next couple of weeks, we'll be trying to hit rank 500 in the RU tier, and looking at the RU ladder, which we have right here, I'm bored, is on the top of the ladder with 1659, but all we need to do is get to 1262. I know it might be just slightly cut off the bottom of the screen. We need to get to 1262 in order to achieve what we need to, and the team we'll be using this week is a team that I've titled to Shiftry. The first Pokemon we have here is probably the most reliable Stealth Rock setter in the RU tier, which is Rhyperior, with a leftover Solid Rock to decrease super effective damage, and then a Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rock Blast for Yanmega and Mega Horn. We have a more specially bulky set since we already have base 130 defense, and this set gets us up to kind of a decent amount of the special defense and allows us to take a couple of hits with Solid Rock. The second member of our team is a Eviolite Doublade, who is a spin blocker for me. Not that I really need hazards to stay. I know some people run Doublade and Braviary, which I may be running next week, but it's not necessarily that I need hazards to stay, but it's more just a good setup sweeper to have on the team. With Swords Dance, Iron Head, Shadow Claw, and Shadow Sneak, and then kind of very, very standard bulky physical sweeper set. And then we have a Hitmonlee set that I'm trying out for the first time. I'm not sure if somebody has thought of this set before, but I just figured, hey, it's kind of a gimmick set, I want to try it out. It's basically a Resto Chesto bulk up Hitmonlee, and the objective of this is to force a normal type out with Hitmonlee, bulk up, and then ideally something like Doublade comes in. I will bulk up one more time, take a hit, I'll I'll rest up to full health, I'll be able to take a hit from the Doublade, and then I'll have 2 times speed, 2 times defense, 2 times attack, so it's kind of like a physical quiver dance, and then hopefully sweep from there. But pretty standard EV spread. High Jump Kick, Mach Punch, and Earthquake. Mach Punch for priority for things like Shiftry, who want to come in and ruin my day. And then we have High Jump Kick for insane power, and because I don't want to lower my defense with close combat. And then we have our Assault Vest user on the team, which is Slowking. With Regenerator, of course, Scald, Psyshock, Fire Blast, and Grass Knot to hit Gastrodon. Bulky special sweeper set here, not a whole lot special, and then, or not a whole lot of special about that set. And then we have Shiftry, who forms a Shiftry Moltres core on the team. Life Orb has Chlorophyll, which is pretty cool, has Defog to keep the hazards off the field for Moltres, Sucker Punch, Knockoff, and Leaf Storm. And then we have Moltres here, who is probably one of the better Pokemon, who is probably the best Pokemon in the tier. With Life Orb, has Pressure, Fire Blast, Hurricane, which has shaky accuracy, but I don't want to go with like Air Slash or something else. Hidden Power Grass, and Roost. So let's hop into our my first ever RU battle. I've actually never played RU before. This team just works in theory, but looking at this guy's team, he has Sigalith, which is probably a Life Orb Magic Guard user, but if it's Cosmic Power, then I'm going to need to do some work with Shiftry. He also has Swoobat. He just has a lot of things that set up, and then he has Combuskin, who's probably going to look to Baton Pass with, but I'm going to leave Rhyperior as he leads with Swoobat, but I'm not fearing this too much. I'm just going to Rock Blast straight away. I don't really care if he switches at this point. I just want to get off damage on something. And looking at his team, he doesn't have a whole lot that wants to take on Rhyperior. The Baton... Oh, he tricks me, a Choice Scarf, but he's about to get bopped. This should... Come on, hit more than twice. Gosh dang it, only hit twice. That's fine. I'm assuming he's going to switch out into Klinklang here, because Klinklang looks like it has a pretty good matchup against this, especially when it's Scarfed into Rock Blast. So I'm going to go out into Hitmonlee. Hopefully he doesn't go for like a grass move or something, because that would really stink. I'm also going to check for lag here. Well, yeah, it looks like we are lagging a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, he ends up doubling out into his Clang. Not his Klinklang, his Clang. My bad. The problem with my Hitmonlee set is that it's completely walled by flying types, but I'm going to Earthquake here and see if he decides to stay in, although I doubt he will. And he just ends up going out into Sigilyph, and this is fine, because I can go out into my Moltres here and threaten him out with a Stab Fire Blast. He ends up going for Cosmic Power, so this is the annoying Cosmic Power set. I don't have anything to phase. This could actually really be a problem. Never mind, I can 2-hit KO him with Fire Blast. He Calm Minds though, so he is more of an offensive Sigilyph set, and he has Stored Power is probably his main attacking move. He's gonna Roost here, which is fine. No, he Calm Minds. Okay, he might have just choked there. If I hit 3 Fire Blasts in a row, yeah. Okay, I took out Sigilyph, so that's pretty cool. And that's the amazing wall-breaking power of Moltres, because even when Sigilyph was at +1, that was a 2-hit KO. And he ends up just forfeiting. I get up to 1,047. This push to rank 500 might not last very long, but we'll see. This guy actually has a pretty good team. I'm all over the place right now. He probably has Lead, Ambipom. If this is Fake Out Last Resort, then whatever. Mega Abomasnow, he has Tank Wheezing probably. Jellicent, which is very, very threatening. He has Tyrantrum, which as long as I keep Hitmonlee safe, it shouldn't really matter. And then he has the Zoroark. Zoroark is really good. So I'm going to lead Rhyperior. And I think this is Zoroark, maybe? I'm going to Rock Blast, just to find out. I could Mega Horn. He ends up U-turning. So this is his Ambipom. We're going to see what he goes out into. He ends up going out into Wheezing, and I end up missing Rock Blast, so that's cool. That's cool. I'm going to get up my Rocks, though, because it's going to help me later against the Abomasnow. If anything wants to take a burn, it's Rhyperior. And now I can go out into Slowking and threaten him out with a Psyshock. And so that forces him out into what will likely be his Zoroark. He ends up going for Sludge Bomb, but that does nothing. So this ends up forcing him out into what will likely be his Zoroark. I'm just gonna... Do I want to Grass Knot predicting... I'm gonna Grass Knot predicting Jellicent. Yeah, here's Jellicent. We'll see if this is actually... Okay, that was actually his Jellicent. So I'm able to hit Jellicent pretty hard on the switch. Not pretty hard, but hard enough. He ends up Toxicking, which is just... That's more just a pain in the butt than actually going to destroy me. I'm going to double here, predicting the Recover, which ends up happening fairly nicely. That's nice for me. That's what I meant to say. I'm going to Knock Off here, because Knock Off will be able to knock Jellicent out from this range, I do believe. And it comes with the added benefit of removing the item of one other Pokemon on his team. His best switch here probably is going to be his Abomasnow, because it won't take as much from Knock Off. He ends up going out into Wheezing, so we'll see how much this does. Get rid of his Black Sludge, which is cool. But at this point, I'm gonna double into Rhyperior. No, Rhyperior doesn't do a whole lot for me at this point. I'm gonna go into Slowking here. And he ends up going for Pain Split, so that's just more so annoying. I'm gonna Psyshock, because Psyshock is super effective, no duh. He ends up going down to Ambipom, so this is Zoroark, maybe? Yeah, this is Zoroark. So my best thing to take on Zoroark at this point is still probably Rhyperior. If he wants to U-turn, that's fine. He ends up Dark Pulsing, that does a lot, so I'm just going to end up losing my Rhyperior here, which really isn't too much of a problem. I have my Rocks up. It doesn't look like he has a whole lot that will try to get rid of my Rocks at this point. So I'm just going to go for a Mega Horn. He ends up just knocking me out with Dark Pulse. That's fine. I'm going to go and Hitmonlee here. And we're going to test this set out once and for all. I'm going to Bulk Up, predicting the switch. He ends up going out into Wheezing. Now, I completely forgot about this thing. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. I'm going to go back into Slowking here, which is fine. And I'm going to... Do I want a Grass Knot or do I want to Scald? I think I want a Grass Knot. Because even if he goes back out into Ambipom, then I can handle that relatively easily. He ends up going back out into Ambipom, which is fine. Actually, this is his legit Ambipom, so that's cool. I'm going to go out into Doublade, predicting the Fake Out to rack up toxic damage. It'll also get me back up to about full health with Regenerator, so that's cool. He ends up fake outing. I'm immune. And now I kind of want to predict the dark attack and go into Shiftry, so I'm going to do that. Oh, he ends up pursuit trapping me, so that's a problem. Actually, oh boy, I'm coughing here. Let me mute my mic for a second, my bad. There we go. Anyway, I think I'm going to knock off here. Although wheezing is the pretty obvious switch. Oh, he ends up U-turning. I'm an idiot. I forgot he had U-turn. Yeah, so that just comes with me trying to learn the RU tier. And so he goes out into Abomasnow, which frankly is fine, because I can go into Hitmonlee. Or do I want to go into Hitmonlee? That is the question. So I'm kind of contemplating my options here. I know he has Grass Stab, so Slowking's not an option. He has Ice Stab, which really my team doesn't mind too much. I could go out into Moltres and Fire Blast and try to nuke something, but I think that would just give Tyrantrum a free switch. But honestly, I think that's my best option at this point, just pray that my Fire Blast hits, because I can apply pretty good offensive pressure to the rest of his team with Moltres, given that I weaken and or knock out Tyrantrum. He ends up going into Wheezing, which is fine. Is this Wheezing or is this Zoroark? It doesn't matter now. It's dead. So we get Wheezing out of the way, which is actually really great, because it opens up the door for both Hitmonlee and Doublade to come in later and do some work. And also, it takes more pressure off of Slowking, because now Slowking can just focus on taking out Tyrantrum later in the match. He ends up going into Tyrantrum right here, though. I'm going to go into Doublade. And we're going to hope he doesn't Dragon Dance. We're going to hope he goes straight for his Rock Stab if he Dragon Dances. Okay, he Thunder Fangs. That's cool. I'm going to Iron Head here, even though... Yeah, I actually, Doublade applies great pressure for the rest of the game. He ends up going out into Abomasnow. This is probably just a sack right here. So frankly, as long as I keep getting Doublade free switches, I can win this game. Because... Okay, he goes out into Tyrantrum here. He's probably going to Earthquake. Or go for... Is he banded Tyrantrum? From the way he just withdrew, I'm thinking he's banded. So I'm going to go into Moltres here. Hopefully he doesn't go for like Rock Slide or something. He ends up going for Extra Sensory. Oh, hi Zoroark. I kind of want this thing for later, but really it only outspeeds Jellicent. I'm going to Fire Blast. He ends up knocking me out with Extra Sensory. You know, worse things have happened before. I'm going to go into Slowking because I'm a Soul Vest. I think I can take a hit. I'm going to go for Scald, and I'm going to hope for the burn. Actually, Zoroark isn't really even that bulky. Oh, no. I'm going to go for the Grass Knot here. Kind of predicting a switch into the Jellicent, because I need that Jellicent gone in order to win the game with Hitmonlee. Oh, man. This is going to be... Like... Honestly, I still think I have a chance in this match. I'm not necessarily controlling the match, but I have a chance. The door is the door is cracked open for me, so I could potentially win. He ends up going out into Ampomp here. I'm gonna be able to hit him up with the Grass Knot. That doesn't do a lot, but it doesn't. It's not like it's terrible. I'm gonna Psyshock as he ends up going for a Pursuit, but I'm not switching out. I just got to get that out of the way. So that's cool. And frankly, Hitmonlee should be able to handle Tyrantrum. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that, and he has probably choiced Zoroark. He has choiced Zoroark, I think. So I'm going to go for a Grass Knot here. He ends up knocking me out with Dark Pulse. I'm going to go in Hitmonlee. And I'm going to bulk up. We're going to see how many bulk ups I can potentially get up. He ends up going out in a Jellicent. So now it's the game of how many times can I bulk up before I get burned. Actually, no, it doesn't even matter if I get burned, because I can just rest it off later. And let's see how much Scald is doing. Hydro Pump. Okay, so this is weird, because depending on rolls, I could potentially lose this thing. But I'm going to bulk up again, because it's really my only chance of winning the game. After I rest, then I outspeed his entire team, and I win, just straight up from that point. He could... Okay. Okay, I lived. Sweet. I completely forgot to put rest on this thing. What am I doing? You guys are probably yelling at me like, Geo, what? Alright, I'm replacing Mach Punch with rest. I'm a complete idiot. I'm able to take him out there, but this is definitely his Zoroark. He's going to be able to just extrasensory, but I'm going to Mach Punch. Actually, I may be able to clean the game up with Mach Punch, so it may not even matter. That'd actually be pretty cool. So here is Zoroark. I'm going to Mach Punch. You know, things would have gone a lot smoother had I just had rest, because I would have been able to rest up and basically be faster than his entire team and high jump kick everything. But you know, sometimes things don't necessarily work out and you kind of got to make do. So we're going to grab one more match because we're only 15 minutes in. And he has probably a Soul Vest Armaldo. Heliolisk is actually pretty cool. I used that thing on my first XY team. And then we have Jellicent, who we're seeing again. We have this, who's probably just going to come in and spore something. We have Cobalion, who could be a Stealth Rock setter, who is actually is a pretty good Stealth Rock setter. And then we have his Rapidash. So I'm going to lead Rhyperior here, because even if he leads Cobalion, I think I can take a hit. Just because Rhyperior is relatively bulky. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. And good luck, have fun. And we will see if we can work some magic here. Hopefully we can. Alrighty, so he does lead with Cobalion, which I kind of was expecting. Now, I think I want to get up Rocks, because it's going to help against Armaldo. And I'm not really sure what Armaldo wants to do, even if it is Assault Vest. Yeah, we just end up trading Rocks turn 1, which is not actually good. I'm going to Earthquake here, as I'm kind of expecting close combat. That doesn't do anything. My lord, Rhyperior, you bulky monster. And I'm going to be able to 2-hit KO him easily with Earthquake at this point. He doesn't have anything that wants to take an Earthquake. So he's either going to sack his Rocks, which would not be a very good play on his part, because I defog against Amoonguss. Wow, why would I have any reason to switch? I defog against Amoonguss, I defog against Armaldo, I defog against Jellicent. So he ends up going into Amoonguss here. I'm kind of expecting a Spore, but even if it's just a Grass type attack, Shiftry should be able to take it, as long as it's... Okay, he ends up going for Sludge Bomb and taking out my defogger. So that actually is a little unfortunate. I guess he could have predicted that, and I could see that, I guess, but that's just kind of unfortunate for me. I'm going to go into Moltres though, and I'm going to Fire Blast, because I should be able to do some good damage to some. I lied, I'm going for Hurricane. The reason I'm going for Hurricane is if he switches into Jellicent, it's still neutral damage. If he switches into Armaldo, it's still neutral damage. If he switches into Heliolisk, it's resisted, but I'm going to have to switch at that point anyway. So I hit my Hurricane, and Amoonguss lives, but it hits itself in confusion, and I'm going to be able to take Amoonguss out, so that's pretty cool. He ends up going into Jellicent, though. I'm actually going to HP Grass, sacking this thing, because I can't switch it out, and I would have to Roost, and I can't really Roost safely against Jellicent. He ends up going for Scald and taking me out. That's fine. That's fine. At this point, I think my best switch is going to be my Doublade, because Doublade can hit something hard. I'm actually going to go for the Iron Head, kind of predicting the switch into... Oh, he goes for Scald, so if I get burnt, I got burned. Okay, that's a shame, honestly. I'm going to Shadow Claw, but I lost a lot of offensive momentum there. Any that I would have had by Iron Heading while he switched is all lost. He gets a crit, but it doesn't really matter. Shadow Claw is going to be able to do some nice damage, though. And he's going to be able to take me out. So now I'm going to go into Slowking here. Hopefully he just sees this as a free opportunity to go for his Ghost Stab while I Grass Knot. But Heliolisk could also be an option here. So I may end up just Psyshocking. I think I'm just going to Psyshock. Because Psyshock is a relatively safe play. It hits his entire team neutrally. I think I can knock out Jellicent from this range. And other than that, there's not... Okay, he ends up just Willowing. He misses his Willow, which I guess is redemption for burning my Doublade. But, you know, damage is damage at the end of the day. So, like, all hacks ends up mattering, with the exception of, like, oh, you were gonna do, like, 95% anyway, and I was on like 80% and you crit me. Like, that hacks doesn't matter, but you know, you guys get what I'm saying. You guys get what I'm saying. And so we'll see what James Rocks 19 decides to go out into here. I'm assuming it's going to be his Heliolisk. Yeah, here comes Heliolisk. Now, here's the question. Do I go out in a Rhyperior here? Because I would like Rhyperior late game versus this thing. Or do I just end up sacking Slowking here? Because I think I can take a hit, get off damage, and go into Hitmonlee. So I'm just going to Psyshock. Hands of T-Bolting, which will 2-hit KO me from that range. But I'm going to do enough damage to where I can come in and revenge kill him. So Slowking, you did your job. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to come in and I forgot I don't have Mach Punch anymore. Woo! Alright. I'm just going to Earthquake. That's going to do a lot of damage. So he can definitely tell I'm not a Soul Vest Hitmonlee. But his best shot at winning at this point is going out into Fire Pony right now. Rapidash. Couldn't think of its name for a second. And getting off damage versus Hitmonlee. But he ends up going into Armaldo. So this thing, it probably is going to spin, I'd assume. So I'm going to High Jump Kick. He ends up Aqua Jetting, which will be able to take me out. So that is going to be a good game, as he probably will be able to finish me off. Rock Blast is going to be super effective, so I'm going to go for that and hope for a high roll, or a couple of high rolls. Oh boy, I'm going to need like 4 hits. Yeah. So unless he like misses Flare Blitz or something, or I just completely eat up his hit, then this is over. He ends up X-Scissoring, which gives me a little bit of hope, because now I can... Actually, I should have just Earthquake there. I don't know what I was thinking. That was a dumb move on my on my part. He's going to go out in a Rapidash. I'm just going to Earthquake. He ends up Drill Running me, so he ends up knocking me out. That's going to put us at 1066, but really, if we look at it, we're not that far off. Oh, no, I didn't mean to go into Team Builder. I meant to go into Ladder. We're not really that far off at 1066. We only have to get to 1262. It's changed since the last time. And anyway, so if you guys did enjoy the first episode of Push to Rank 500 in the RU tier, make sure to leave a like. This really does help show support for the series and the stuff that I'm doing here on the channel. Additionally, make sure to answer today's comment question of the video, which is... What do you guys think of RU? Have you played it this gen? Did you play it last gen? What are your experiences with it, basically? And with that, I urge you guys to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content. And with that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.